The idea of a 3-time Oscar winner getting rejected from a movie audition over her beauty is almost unbelievable. And like a Hollywood story of love and wonder, Meryl's life has displayed a collection of attention-worthy events that leave you glued to the screens of her autobiography.
This is gonna get me my 3rd Tony Award.
Similar to many Hollywood icons, behind the glamour and stash of awards is a typical grace to grass story. But her story takes us through the deeper waves of defeat, passion, hope, and recognition in a way few stories can. This is the story behind the famous Hollywood star Meryl Streep. A rising star. Meryl Streep is considered more than just an influential actress in Hollywood. She's a walking legend among us, as few of her achievements have only been bested by a few elites like herself, while she retains an accolade neither the living nor the dead possess. However, her story begins in 1949 when she was born. Meryl was a conservative little girl for most of her childhood, with parents who fared fairly and supported their children's dreams. Her mother was particularly her greatest companion, as she supported her greatly in all that she could do. With her constant words of encouragement and motivation, Meryl always found the courage to thrive, and she did this well enough in the early stages of her career. Although her career did not begin with acting. Unknown to several people, Meryl was an incredible young singer who took music lessons in the hopes of performing as an opera singer someday. With the help of her supportive parents, she continued to pursue music until college, where she switched to acting. Putting her childhood love for music aside, Meryl took to the stage to showcase her acting skills like no other. She graduated from Vassar College, where she majored in drama. Still, Meryl received significant recognition from her classmates and lecturers at Yale for her unprecedented act of performing an abortion on herself. During her first year at Yale for her MFA degree, she had to undergo an exercise familiar to first-year students in acting class. The exercise required that they act out a death scene, which she did with such intensity and excellence. Coming up with an abortion scene for the exercise showed uniqueness, and she immediately became recognized as a perfect role model for bringing your best game. With a verified last name famously used in the art department, Meryl continued to progress, inspiring other students to do their best while boosting her profile as a skilled actress. However, when she began to make her way into the film industry, she witnessed events she probably never expected could happen to her. Too ugly to act. No doubt, Meryl was good at what she did, and she constantly proved that in the theater. But now, Meryl was going to break into film because she had been greatly inspired by Robert De Niro's performance in the 1976 film Taxi Driver. According to Meryl, the film significantly impacted her, and she wanted to be like him.
But it's very exciting.
This led her to various auditions for film roles, until she met the son of Dino De Laurentiis, who was searching for a lead actress at the time for the movie King Kong. His son had witnessed her performance in theater and recommended her to his father for the vacant role. Upon arrival at the place, Dino De Laurentiis spoke to his son in Spanish, asking him why he would bring such an ugly woman to his production. Unaware that Meryl understood Spanish, he was caught off guard when she replied in Spanish saying, "I'm sorry, I'm not beautiful enough to be in King Kong." But even with this remark from Meryl, he still refused to give her the role. She would later open up on a show about how she was thankful for not getting the role because the making of the movie was recorded to be a traumatizing event for the lady who eventually landed the role. Before getting her first feature film, she continued to act on Broadway, featuring in several plays where she won several awards and had various nominations. Not long after the rejection incident, the star, who started acting at age 6 and mesmerized her young brothers in the Little Virgin Mary show her father aired on Super 8, eventually found her way into the movie industry, landing her first acting gig in the 1977 movie Julia. And although she complained about not liking her role in the movie, she admits to having been influenced by Jane Fonda, whom Meryl claims opened more doors for her than she probably knew about. In the heat of her new path in her acting career, she met someone who shook her world for a period, but not in the way she had wanted. A love story that bled tears. When Meryl began working as an actress, she worked at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Center. This was in 1975 when she also relocated to New York City after acting in 5 plays in 6 weeks at the theater. She got more opportunities as she stayed longer in New York, such as when she was cast for a role in a Trelawney of the Wells' productions held at the Vivian Beaumont Theatre. Meryl further showcased her acting in plays like The Taming of the Shrew with Raoul Julia, Measure for Measure, and Pabst New York Shakespeare Festival's Henry V productions. During one of the plays, Measure for Measure, she worked alongside John Cazale and Sam Waterston. During this period, she got into a romantic relationship with Cazale, famous for his role as Fredo Corleone in the Godfather franchise. Their relationship lasted only a while before Cazale battled terminal lung cancer. This shocked Meryl as she slowly watched her lover lose his life to cancer. She became motivated to take up an acting role in a movie he was also featured in. She did this to fund his treatment and stay close to him. They both were popular in New York then, and though they were not financially free, friends still admired their relationship. While performing roles in films like The Deer Hunter and The Holocaust, from which she got money to foot Cazale's medical bills, Meryl stayed beside Cazale, and she cared for him unconditionally during the time of his illness. Not long after, in March, Cazale passed away. Meryl was devastated as her hopes had been shattered. But something strange happened after the doctors had confirmed him dead. While she cried out and pounded against the dead man, Cazale was recorded to have opened his eyes and spoken to Meryl. He told her it was all right, in shaky breaths, as he shut his eyes back in death. Amid Meryl's grief, her hard work in the Holocaust movie paid off, as she won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Limited Series. Meryl was too sad to attend the event because her lover had just passed. Therefore, her award was packed in a box and brought to her residence. Meryl eventually spoke about how she couldn't appreciate the award at the time because she did the job to save her boyfriend, whom she eventually lost to cancer. The Holocaust was a major hit as it had over 100 million audiences, bringing Meryl to center stage as she received significant recognition from top players in the industry. But even the success of the Holocaust seemed like a wasted effort to Meryl at the time. Eventually, she picked herself up and learned a valuable lesson from the incident about what was and wasn't important in life. The experience with violence, new love, and family. Meryl eventually found love when she met her husband, Don Gummer. They met when Meryl was still mourning her deceased boyfriend, Cazale. She was moving out of Cazale's apartment, and her brother had come around to help her pack when he tagged a friend, Don Gummer. Since the incident with Cazale, Don has been by her side for over 40 years and still counting. 6 months after meeting, they married in Meryl's parents' garden. Don is a simple man who isn't as famous as his wife, but lives happily with her, and they've raised 4 children, 2 of whom are also actors. He's also an award-winning sculptor that graduated from the University of Yale the same year as Meryl, and has hosted over 40 art exhibition shows across the US, both solo and group. While Meryl enjoyed a second chance at happiness with Don, she has also had other experiences that have shaped her view of life and her character. One such incident was her experience with violence. Meryl spoke about how the violence had changed her, and she didn't even realize it until later. At the Committee to Protect Journalists' 27th Annual International Press Freedom Awards in New York, she spoke on her 2 encounters with violence. The first being when she was attacked and beaten up and had to play dead until the blows ceased. And the second was when she saw someone else being abused by men, whom she chased off angrily as she ran towards the scene, although this second scenario also involved Cher, Meryl's friend. She joined her in scaring the thug away, who was apparently harassing a lady and trying to steal her purse. The lady was later identified as a singing waitress and thanked Meryl and Cher for saving her. Meryl commented that on the scene, 2 men across the street saw everything that happened and did nothing about it. This incident inspired Meryl to talk about the challenges women faced in society at the awards, and how women have become more aware of danger than men because of their environment. Meryl Streep is the definition of success, as she has many nominations and awards to her name. She holds the record of Oscar nominee with the highest number of nominations, both among the living and the dead. With 3 Academy Awards, 2 Emmys, 8 Golden Globes Awards, and 2 BAFTAs, France further embellished Meryl with the title Commander in the Order of Arts and Letters. This is the highest cultural award given to creatives in France. All these accolades and many more make her one of the most awarded actresses in the world. Some of Meryl Streep's most iconic roles. Meryl has starred in several blockbuster movies throughout her career. But some of her best works are her roles in movies like Kramer vs. Kramer, Sophie's Choice, and The Iron Lady, for which she won 3 Academy Awards respectively. One of the movies that she is best known for is The Devil Wears Prada, a comedy-drama film where she plays the role of Miranda Priestley, who is a demanding and high-powered editor-in-chief of a fashion magazine. She received an Academy Award nomination for her performance in the film. It follows the story of a young woman named Andy Sachs, played by Anne Hathaway, who lands a job as a personal assistant to Miranda, and the challenges and lessons she learns while working for her. Another notable movie is the film Mamma Mia, and its sequel Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, where she played the role of Donna Sheridan. Donna is a single mother who owns a small hotel on a Greek island, and is the mother of Sophie, played by Amanda Seyfried. Mamma Mia is a musical film based on the stage musical of the same name, which itself was based on the music of ABBA. The film follows Sophie, who's about to get married, and her efforts to find out which of 3 men is her father. Streep's performance in the film was praised, and she received a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy for her role. Mamma Mia was released in 2008 and was a commercial success, grossing over $600 million at the box office. Its sequel, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, was released in 2018. Aside from acting, Meryl is also famous for other projects she's been involved in, such as narrating popular audiobooks like Sprinky Sulks, Bray Irene, and other children's audiobooks. She holds a post as the National Women's History Museum spokesperson, while also establishing scholarships for the UMass Lowell students. Meryl Streep may no longer be in her prime years, but these days she talks about how she handles old age and accepts the process, even though it poses a considerable challenge for her and others like her in Hollywood, due to the demand for more sexy-looking stars. And just like Meryl, we can be sure that sticking through our process will yield the best results at the end of it all. For more inspiring videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.